This is the LEGO Icons Boutique Hotel, last year's addition to the ever so popular Modular series.
It consists of 3,066 pieces and retails for $229, which is no small amount of money, but when you consider the amount of pieces, it's actually one of the best LEGO price per piece ratios that you can ever find. As we take a look at the build and design quality, don't forget to hit the like button so that I can keep making awesome LEGO reviews like this. First off, at over 3,000 pieces, this is a big set and it took me a number of hours to complete. I spread it out over a couple of days. The build was super fun though, because like most of these new modular buildings, the designers put in a lot of unique building styles to keep the build interesting. The boutique hotel is designed as a corner set for a modular street, but it's kind of unusual. It doesn't have the typical corner build. There's some very unique angles in it, obviously. This made the build super interesting. One of my favorite parts being this rounded center portion at the corner. There's a lot of unique piece usages to keep all of those angles just right without having any gaps, because there really are no visible gaps, which is impressive. The stone steps out front leading up to the balcony are a really nice snot technique, meaning studs not on top. And one of the best things about this set is there are no stickers. Every one of these pieces is printed. That said, my least favorite part of the build process was building this palm tree. These pieces are kind of sticky and it makes it really difficult to put them together. Kind of hurts your fingers. There are a few parts of the build that get pretty repetitive, especially when you're putting together a bunch of windows. So the best thing to do is put on some music or a podcast and kind of just knock those out. I give this set a 7 out of 10 when it comes to the quality of the actual build process, which makes it above average, but the repetition of all of these pillars, etc., kind of drags it down a bit. Could have been like an 8 or 9. Let's talk about the set's playability. Well, most people aren't going to use this as a play set because it's designed as a modular display building and it's 18 plus. It doesn't mean that you can't necessarily play with it. In fact, it's pretty possible because all of these different levels just come right off. That allows you to check out the inside of the building, but there's also a pretty good amount of space in there if you want to display minifigures or even play around with them. Of course, this is a normal feature for all of LEGO's modular sets, and like all of the other ones, you have to be really careful when you're moving the set, because if you grab one of these removable layers and go to pick it up, it's going to be too loose and you could possibly destroy the entire thing. It's not a huge concern, just be sure that you always lift it up from the bottom. The build comes with 7 minifigures. An older lady with an umbrella, a guy in a bowler hat carrying a suitcase on some sort of business trip. There's 2 hotel employees, a photographer who might be there to take pictures of the unique architecture of the boutique hotel, a woman who looks like she might own the art gallery next door, and a man who certainly owns, or at least is employed at, the coffee cart outside the hotel. Every one of these minifigures has a pretty awesome print to them, and I think they add some nice color to the scene of an already colorful set. Now let's take a look at the display quality and some of the incredible details of this set. Starting from the ground up, we have the front of the hotel built with some of this sand brown-ish bricks. There are floor-to-ceiling windows with dark green trim and some little hedges out front. On the left side, an awesome stone stairway leads up to a balcony with the pine tree and some drinks. Maybe this is the hotel's in-house restaurant or bar. Whatever it is, to get into it, the minifigures have to pass through this really interesting wrought iron arch. You find this wrought iron throughout the rest of the set as well. Now you can remove the entire restaurant, revealing the art gallery below it. I wouldn't say the art in here is exactly my style, but perhaps it's yours. This is a pretty tight space, but I really like the light blue detailing outside. In my opinion, El Cubo Fine Art is a wonderful neighbor for the boutique hotel. Looking inside the first level, you've got a pretty sparse hotel lobby with plenty of space to stage minifigures if that's your thing. Despite being relatively empty, the build here was fun because of these mosaic tiles on the floor. There's a simple but really nice looking dark red couch across from the concierge desk. An old-timey telephone, a wall of keys, and a handwritten guest list indicate that the boutique hotel hasn't exactly updated its systems. There's a 4x4 mosaic painting on the wall that reminds me of Minecraft, and a really cool railing leading up the stairs to the second floor. Speaking of the second floor, let's take a look at the outside. The entire floor is built with a rare light pink / salmon, I don't really know what you want to call it, color that plays beautifully off of the white pillars and brown casing around the windows. Sloped pieces add a really elegant feel to the exterior, and along the side there's a little balcony. My favorite part about the exterior of this floor is this rounded window, which we can get a closer look at by going inside. On the inside of the window, we have a rounded swivel chair, which kind of seems out of place to me, honestly. It's like a barber chair, but I don't really know what I would put in its place, except maybe a telescope. This floor of the hotel seems to be more of a business suite, with the main room having a typewriter and a lamp at a work desk and a relatively nice sized bed. This room's neighbor is the smallest in the hotel, with some pretty simple build techniques, including a chair that's made out of droid arms. Although the area is small, I really like that they continued the stairs on up to the top level, where you'll find the honeymoon suite. The largest room in the building, equipped with an armoire, a big chair, and a massive bed. There's a chocolate on the sheets awaiting the happy couple, and even a television. This room also has a full bath equipped with a mirror, a tub, a sink, and of course, a toilet. Everything is pretty tight in here, but they did pack a lot of detail in. Looking to the outside, this room has a massive skylight to let a lot of that natural sunlight in, and the entire floor is arrayed in this mint or sage green, which is my personal favorite Lego color. The techniques used to build this dome were really interesting. I'm not going to spoil that for you, but I think it looks really good. The entire build is capped off with a golden ski element acting as a cross from some directions, a lightning rod from others. It's up to your interpretation. The little details put into the display and into the build are my favorite thing about it, all the way down to just the little flowers that array the entire set, adding a punch of color. However, when it comes to display, it's designed to be displayed, of course, with the other modular sets, and it is relatively large. You need a good space for this, but one of the biggest complaints about this build in particular is how it lines up with the other modulars. Let me show you something. Here I have the police station. Let me adjust the mic real quick. If you take the police station and you line it up on the right side of the modular, since it's a corner, you get kind of a gap here, which isn't too bad. And if you were to say take another modular build like the townhomes here and line them up to the other side of the hotel, it's a really nice display. But the thing is, it's like the angle doesn't make it a perfect corner. So if you're displaying it in a line, this looks a little awkward. It does look a little awkward. So yes, the boutique hotel has a really nice design to it, and it looks good next to this police station mainly, but if I were to switch these two around, well, now it doesn't look so great because the side of this building is kind of ugly, and it would be even worse if I moved this one over. So you have to be careful what you display it next to in the modulars. It's a little bit awkward, but in my opinion, it's still the best looking modular that Lego has come out with in a long time. Possibly ever. I've been talking at you for a while. Now it's your turn to talk at me. Let me know what you think about this set down in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. See you guys in the next review.